Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to study the first chapter from grade 10 science, and the chapter name is Chemical Reactions and Equations. Okay, so I'll explain in detail each and every line because in CBSE it is very important to study each and every line because the question can be framed in any manner from the textbook. So thorough reading of textbook and the knowledge of every topic is very important in CBSE. Okay, grade 10 science. Now, first one, if you see here, it is given that consider the following situations in our daily life. That is, and think what happens when. The first example is given: milk is left at room temperature during summers. Okay, before that, you also should know the meaning of this lesson. Chemical reactions. In class 7 and 8, we have already studied about physical changes and chemical changes. Okay, so what is a physical change and what is a chemical change? I'll just briefly tell you. If any, in any chemical reaction or in any reaction, if new substances are formed, that is called a chemical reaction happened. If in physical reaction is nothing, but in any chemical reaction, if no new substances are formed, that will be considered as the physical reaction. Okay, so chemical reaction means in any chemical reaction when new substances are formed and also the equation. So first, before going to study any chapter, we should know the meaning of the lesson. Okay, so according to the current the present to 23-24 exam board exam, total 6 marks is being asked from this chapter. Okay, so this is the weightage of the lesson. This is what you should remember. Now also, so first example is given: milk is left at room temperature during summers. So what happens when when the milk is left at the room temperature during summer? So one thing you should remember, that the taste will change, right? Taste of the milk changes. The taste changes into so taste changes, or sometimes the milk may spoil also. It may get spoiled. Okay, so taste changes. Second one, in second example, an iron tawa or pan nail is left exposed to humid atmosphere. So what happens? Iron, when any iron materials are exposed, they get rusted, right? So it will get rust. So what will be the answer for the second one? You may also write like in textbook itself. It get rust, or it will get rust. Will get rust. So this will be the answer for second one. Similarly, the third one, grapes get fermented. Fermented. What happens when grapes get fermented? Like another new substance will formed. I'll write that you may also remember. It will get convert into alcohol. This is the what happens when the grapes get fermented. This is the example. Like this is the answer you may remember. Now, fourth one, food is cooked. What happens when the food get cooked? So when the food is get cooked, what happens? The raw food will get be cooked. The raw food will get cooked. This is what happens when the food is cooked, the raw food. Okay, and another example is asking, food get digested in our body. What happens when food get digested? Again, another new substances will form. Actually, this is an example we are going to study in the next topic. This is an example of decomposition reaction. We are going to study types of reactions. So you just remember, when food get digested in our body, it is an example of decomposition reaction. So what happens? So suppose if you take food is considered as a whole, one single. So compound, a single compound breaks into simpler, okay, simpler elements or simpler molecules. You may also remember like this, simpler molecules. So what is a compound again? Okay, compound and the molecule, atom, okay, element, everything already we have studied. We have learned in grade 9. Okay. So here also this is another new substance is getting formed in this example when food get digested in our body. This is also an example of chemical reaction. And next one is when we respire, okay, when we take breathe. So what happened? This is also another example of chemical reaction. See, I'm writing here when we respire. So new substances will form like carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide CO2, carbon dioxide and water H2O, water form. Okay, water water are formed. This is what you should remember. Okay, understood. So these are the examples. Just once again, I'll brief it. So when milk is left at room temperature, what happened? Taste changes. When iron material is exposed to humid temperature or humid atmosphere, they get rusted. Example of chemical reaction. Grapes get fermented. It converts into alcohol. Formation of new substances. Are the color changes? Yes or no? The grapes, when they are in green color, when it get fermented, change into dark brown or black color. Color changed. Food is cooked. When food is cooked, raw material, when hard substances become soft. Again, chemical reaction. Food get digested. Food get digested. Suppose food. Imagine this is a food. When it get digested, it will break down into simple molecules or when simple compounds. Like what is happening when we eat food, when it enters into our stomach, the food get digested. It get divided into small particles. It's called. It is also an example of formation of new substances. So it is also an example of chemical reaction. And next, when we take breathe, when we respire, new substances will form like carbon dioxide and water are formed. This is also formation of new substances. So all these are examples of chemical reactions which has happened. Okay, so these are the points that you should remember from this page, the first page. Next one, in all above situations, the nature and identity of the initial substances have somewhat changed. Yes. So what happened? See, suppose if you take any one example, iron substance, it looks very shiny, right? When it get before it get rusted, it looks very shiny. So that was the initial stage. That is the initial stage of the substance. But what is happening now? So after some time or after some few months, okay, or few days, what is happening? The identity of initial substance. Initial means the starting at the beginning, how it looks at the beginning, how it was. Now what happened after some time? It get changed. So that is what he's saying. Now we have already learned about physical and chemical changes of matter in our previous classes. Yes, we have already studied about physical change and chemical changes. So what is a physical change? In any change, if no new substances are formed, no new substances are formed, that is an example of if no new substances formed, no new substances formed, okay, formed in a reaction, that is an example of physical change. Okay, that is an example of physical change. And suppose if new substances formed in any change, in any reaction, any reaction, well, new substances, new substances formed is known as an form. It is an example of chemical changes. Okay, so these are the definition that you should remember about physical change and chemical change. I hope you understood, right? Fine. Now, next one is whenever a chemical change occurs, he's saying that whenever a chemical change occurs, we can say that chemical reaction has taken place. So chemical change occur. What happened when grapes get fermented? What happened? The color changes, the taste changes. When milk get exposed in summer, the taste changes. Okay, so all these are the examples of chemical changes, and we may say that chemical reaction has taken place. Because of that chemical reaction only, we could see all the changes which have happened in these examples. Now, you may perhaps be wondering as to what is actually meant by a chemical reaction. So, what is a chemical reaction? How do we come to know that a chemical reaction has taken place? Let us perform some activities to find the answer for these questions. So, he is saying that let us do some activities so that we can understand the chemical reaction in a better way. So as you all could see, the one activity 1.1 is given here. Okay, so activity 1.1 is being given. That is what you should remember. And one more point, uh, the the uh, the video, this video, the activity video has been given in the description. The link has been given in the description. You may watch after this, after the explanation. Okay, so that will give you a clear understanding, better understanding about the chemical reaction. Okay, which is taking place. Now, fine. Now here he's saying that. Uh, Caution means he's giving the suggestion. Okay, so teacher assistance is must, because so here you could see that we are burning the magnesium ribbon. So when we burn the magnesium ribbon, heat produces. So in any chemical reaction, when heat comes, heat releases. That is an example of exothermic reaction that you should remember. So this example, this activity is all about exothermic reaction, and also we see that a new substances will form. We are going to study in this reaction is new substances forms. So let us see what happens actually. What, and before going to do this activity, what are the materials required? First one, uh, take a magnesium ribbon is required. Okay, magnesium ribbon. So I will in that video you will also understand that you will see what is a magnesium ribbon. Okay, and why should we clean it? He's saying that clean a magnesium ribbon about 3 to 4 centimeter long by rubbing it with sandpaper. So what is a sandpaper? That is also you will see here. So he's saying that first we should rub it. Why? Why should we clean it? Why should we rub it? So because magnesium is a metal, right? So when it is exposed to air, the magnesium oxide layer forms on the ribbon, magnesium ribbon. So what happens, suppose if you do not clean it, if you do not rub it with the sandpaper, if you try to burn it, it takes more time. It takes more time to get burned, and you will also not get the proper chemical reactions. For that reason, we need to rub it, we need to clean it. Okay, and with by using sandpaper, it is a rough paper. Okay, it would be rough, and whenever you use the sandpaper, it automatically removes the magnesium oxide, the layer magnesium oxide which is formed above the magnesium ribbon. Next one, hold it with pair of tongs. So these are the pair of tongs. Okay, so whenever we are doing any activity using the fire or burners, candle, so we must use the tongs. Okay, and burn it using a spirit lamp or burner, and collect the ash so formed in a watch glass as shown in figure 1.1. Burn the magnesium ribbon, keeping it away as far as possible from ice. So what do you observe? So he's asking. So actually magnesium ribbon is a metal. Okay, and before going to do this activity, what I need? I need a magnesium ribbon, I need a pair of tongs, I need a burner, I need a watch glass. Okay, and now these are the minimum materials. So when I rub it, so first thing I should rub it. After rubbing it using the pair of tongs, one end I'll hold it, and then another end I'll burn it. Okay, so what happens when we burn it? When we burn the magnesium ribbon, see here, what happens? He's asking, what do you observe? So what do you observe? Tell me. Any idea? No, we do not get any idea because we did not do the activity. So when we do the activity, so what do we observe? That I am going to write here. So you also please note down the same here, because you have the space provided. You note down whatever the changes we observe. So what happens is, so I'm writing the answer, when magnesium, okay, magnesium, I'm writing symbol also, M capital, G small, okay, magnesium, this is the chemical symbol, okay, of element magnesium. Magnesium ribbon, okay, magnesium ribbon burns with dazzling, dazzling means a bright, okay, dazzling white light. It gives a dazzling white light. And what happens? And also after that, that magnesium ribbon, the metal, it gives it or it converts into a white powder. Okay, it converts into a white powder, and that white powder is called as magnesium oxide. Okay, what is it? What is that? It is magnesium oxide. I'll write the formula M capital, G and O capital. This is the magnesium oxide. And where do we need to, okay, so these are the observations. Okay, understood? First one, when the magnesium ribbon burns, what happens? It gives the dazzling white light. Dazzling means very bright, very shiny white light. And second one, you can also note down here. Second, it converts into a white powder, which is called as magnesium oxide. And what is the what we do after that? So here in this diagram, you could see that that white powder is being collected into a watch glass. Now, one more point you can add. One more point you also remember, because it will also help you. Now that magnesium oxide, is it a basic in nature or acidic in nature? That you have to remember. So how will we understand, or how do we know that whether it is a acidic or basic? By using the litmus papers, right? So we have red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. So everything is being explained in the video detail. The video link will be given in the description. Okay, so please watch the video. So actually, this magnesium oxide is basic in nature. Is basic in nature. So how come we do? Because we are doing the activity. So watch the video, then you'll understand. Okay. So magnesium oxide powder is basic in nature. So these are the 3 points you should remember. Okay, for this whole page. So if you remember, if you do your practice also according to the page wise, then that will help you to give you to score uh, a good marks in your science exam. Okay, so let me brief once again this page. Okay, fine. So from this page, how many questions can be asked? See, sometimes he may give you the diagram and he may ask you, what is this? Okay, here it is mentioned magnesium oxide. If we just put the dash here, so he may ask you, what is this? This is called magnesium oxide. And here also it may be asked, so in this activity what do you observe? So then you need to write these 3 points. So this may be asked for 2 marks. Sometimes it may be given in MCQs, because it is already asked in the previous board exam. MCQs. Okay, and what is the color of magnesium oxide? Very, very important. The magnesium, the powder color is in white. And what happens when magnesium ribbon is burned? It gives the dazzling effect. It gives dazzling effect, dazzling light, or dazzling, not effect, actually dazzling flame. Okay, a bright color. So these are the points. And okay, so and one more very, very important point that I'll tell you. Now sometimes he may ask you, okay, he may ask you to write the chemical equation for this reaction. Understood? Chemical, write the, see, I'll use one more color. Question, how the question can be framed. Write the chemical equation for this reaction. So which reaction it is? Burning of magnesium ribbon and converting it into magnesium oxide. So to do this, what is important? Okay, very, very important one. Gas is also which also help us. Which gas it is? Oxygen gas. So what happens? Magnesium ribbon, okay, Mg plus oxygen. Oxygen is required, right? Combustion is studied in combustion and flame. Okay, so oxygen, chemical formula O2. Okay, O2, O2 magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. M capital, G small, and O, magnesium oxide. Now you check whether it is balanced or not. We are going to study how to balance also, but I am just giving telling you the questions which can be framed in exam. Okay, so now here if you observe in left hand side, okay, these are called reactants. Left hand side are reactants and right hand side are products. And this is an arrow. See, this is the tail of the arrow and this is the head. So head always pointing towards the products. So left side we get reactants. So magnesium is a reactant. Okay. So these are the reactants. And right side products. Right side it is a product is formed. So here we are using how many reactants? Two reactants. So whenever two different substances are we are using, we separate them by using a plus symbol, plus sign. Here how many products we have is formed? Only one product. So we are not using any like any plus symbol. If we get more products, that time we use again plus to separate the products. Okay, this is what you remember. Now if you observe here in left side there are two oxygens, but whereas right side only one oxygen. So what we need to do, we need to balance it. So how to balance? So two oxygens are required, so then I'll put two here. So if I put two here, then how many magnesium? Two magnesium and two oxygen. Here two oxygen, so it is balanced. But what about magnesium? It is not balanced. So what I need to do, again I need to put two here, then it get balanced. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll write the final balanced chemical reaction here. Okay, so Mg, okay, plus O2. So two oxygen atoms. So why do we write two O2? That also we have studied in grade 9. Okay, MgO. So it is not balanced. So I'll keep two here. So now two oxygens and two magnesium. So here it is only one Mg. So I'll put two Mg. Now you count here. Check left side two magnesium, right side two magnesium atoms. Left side two oxygen atoms and right side two oxygen atoms, hence it is balanced. Understood? So this is what you should do your preparation. In this way you need to do the preparation. So I'll just brief it. I'll make the video of the whole chapter, and I'll merge the videos and I'll put upload in the YouTube. This is just for the clear understanding how the question, how we need to do our revision, how we need to do our practice for exam, and how we have to study, in which way, what is the procedure to study, in what way we need to study and remember, because every sentence is very very important for CBSE board exam. So what we have studied in this, so first we have understood the meaning of chemical reactions, and here few examples are given. So I have already also explained what happens when these changes happen. So we have seen that in some chemical reactions color is changed, in something like energy is produced, in some chemical reactions heat releases, in some chemical reaction new substances form. So all these are the examples of chemical reactions. We say that chemical reaction took place or happened. And also after that, we have studied about this equation, right? This activity 1.1. So activity 1.1 actually tells us about the formation of new substance. New substance is formed, right? So it is a chemical reaction, and also heat produces. So this is an exothermic reaction. In any chemical reaction, it heat produces. That is an example of exothermic reaction also. Exothermic reaction. And not only exothermic, we study about decomposition reaction also. That also comes under, this activity comes under that. Okay, decomposition reaction. Okay. So, and what are the materials required for this activity? Magnesium ribbon, tongs, burner, watch glass. Okay, and also sandpaper. So first what we need to do, we need to take a sandpaper and rub the magnesium ribbon of 3 to this. Actually it looks like a ring. Okay, magnesium ribbon, that we need to cut it with the scissors, and then rub it with the sandpaper of 3 to 4 centimeter long. After that, hold it with the tongs and bring it near the burner, so that magnesium ribbon burns and gives a white dazzling flame. Okay, that is that we see the color. And also after that, this metal turns into a powder, and this powder is called as magnesium oxide. So what is the chemical formula of magnesium oxide? MgO. Okay, magnesium oxide. And also this is whether it is acidic or basic. It is basic. How basic, how we come to know? By using a litmus paper, red litmus paper, we use it. And how also that activity also, it is explained in the video. Please watch the video. Okay, and after that what is the color of magnesium oxide? White. Okay, and also you should remember the chemical equation for this reaction. So what are we taking here? Magnesium, and in the presence of oxygen, it gives magnesium oxide. So this is the chemical reaction, but it's not balanced. Okay, so we need to balance it. So here two oxygen, one oxygen. So you put two here. So 2 mg, two oxygen. Two oxygen, only 1 mg, and put one more 2 here. So now it is balanced. So these are the points that you need to remember you in this chemical reaction. Okay, and also this is about first page only, and here it is already given. So this is all about equation activity 1.1. You must have observed that magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame and changes into white powder, and this white powder is called magnesium oxide. Okay, it is formed due to the reaction between magnesium and oxygen present in the air. Okay, I hope you have understood the video, and watch the activity video also, in which the video link has been given in the description. Okay, fine. I'll make the video of this whole chapter. Okay, thank you so much.